Today's lesson is the first in chapter 10, all about probability. We'll get to probability itself in our next lesson. Today, we're going to kind of get some of the building blocks necessary to learn about probability in the form of some vocabulary. Our learning target will be to identify and use favorable outcomes of an event. An experiment is an investigation or procedure that has varying results. The possible results of this experiment are called outcomes. So, outcomes are the results of an experiment. A collection of one or more outcomes is an event. The outcomes of a specific event are called favorable outcomes. All four of these words are going to help us build a good understanding of probability. First, we need a good understanding of these words. So let's look at a scenario that's going to help us understand these things. But first, I want you to mark your paper because your paper is not in color, it's in black and white, and you can't see these colored marbles. So please label them P for purple, B for blue, G for green, yellow, and red. That way you have some way of telling these marbles apart on your note catcher. So let's say I have 6 marbles, and we randomly select one marble from that group of marbles. That action is called the experiment. Each marble in the group is considered an outcome. So, for example, selecting a blue marble would be an outcome, selecting a green marble would be an outcome. Selecting a green marble from the group is an event. So, an event, choosing a green marble. And there are 2 favorable outcomes in that example because there are 2 green marbles. There are 2 outcomes that we would like. Let's look at some examples. Problem number 1, you randomly choose a letter from a hat that contains the letters A through K. Our question is, what are the possible outcomes? Well, all of the possible outcomes are any letter that we could pull out of this hat, which are A, B, C, D, E, F, so each of those letters is a possible outcome. Part B, it's asking what are favorable outcomes of choosing a vowel? So in all of our possible outcomes, a favorable outcome in this scenario is choosing a vowel, and there are 3 of those, and they are the outcome of A, E, and I, for a total of 3 outcomes. Problem number 2. You roll the number cube. Number cube is a fancy way of saying dice. Dice has a lot of connotation in gambling, so educational books tend to prefer the term number cube. Anytime you see that term number cube, it implies a standard 6-sided dice with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it first asks to list the possible outcomes. Well, the possible outcomes are any of the numbers on the number cube. I just said them. What are the favorable outcomes of rolling an even number? That's going to be all of the outcomes that are an even number. In this case, there are 3 of them, 2, 4, and 6. Finally, what are the favorable outcomes of rolling a number greater than 5? Well, there's only one number on the number cube that has that. That is the number 6. And that's our favorable outcome.